Let's turn our attention to East London. West Ham thrashed by Spurs, really, on Saturday. Excellent performance by Spurs, even though they were below strength. Lucas Bergvall, I just thought was absolutely exceptional.
Terrific.
Brilliant. I wanted to ask you about Graham Potter's team selection straight away, Coisty. Because he's got Nicholas Fulkrug and Callum Wilson on the bench, but he prefers to play Lucas Paqueta in a false nine. And dare I say, Paqueta didn't look awfully keen at playing as that false nine.
No. I mean, it's a particularly strange formation to play at, I think, at home, right? Because clearly he's trying to overload his kind of middle to front in terms of numbers, possession, rather than playing out and out number 9. So he's trying to, keep the ball. But against a particular side at home, I think you leave yourself open to a lot of criticism, Jeff. I think that only works if you get away with it. You know what I mean? It's one of these situations. You don't win that game, you lose that game. In fact, you get a bit of a going over in the game. The sending off of Souček clearly didn't help. That goes without saying. But I don't think anybody could deny that Tottenham were a better side. And then you're open to severe criticism. I mean, at least if you play somebody like Fulkrug in particular and or Callum Wilson, you got to get the ball into the box, right? Because they're centre forwards that need to attack things and get deliveries into the box. When you run the risk of playing Lucas Paqueta in a false 9, there's no real. You'll get boys in wide areas or look up and there's nothing in the box. So it completely changes your outlook in the game and the way you play the game. It's not. I mean, you're talking to an ex-centre forward here, so I don't like it in the first place, but I certainly don't like it at home, Jeff.
No, I agree. And you look, they've lost every game this season, bar Forest, where they scored 3 times in the last 10 minutes. You thought I might have been tempted to, give the side that finished that game so impressively another chance. Do you think he was pointing the finger at the board afterwards, Coisty, when he said Chelsea and Tottenham have both competed in the Champions League and they have the resources to build squads that are high level?
But there's nothing new there, Jeff. He can have a go at effectively, who he likes. But the fact of the matter is, clubs that are competing at the top level of European competition absolutely require squads of 19 and 20 players. That's the way it is. West Ham, unless I've got it wrong, and the West Ham, Jim will be on to tell me if I've got it wrong, I don't think they've ever, in recent times, had a squad of 18, 19, 20 where you could go, well, he's going to give him a rest, he can leave him out for that particular game. West Ham aren't one of those clubs that can or are doing that. So there's nothing new there for me, Jeff.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing that strikes me is, they've brought in a new goalkeeper, they've got Kilman at centre-half, they've brought in Todibo, they've got new full-backs. And they can't defend a set play for love nor money.
No, I know. Balls into the box are clearly a problem from. I'm concerned about West Ham. I mean, you see the Forest result aside, you could look at that and say it was a brilliant time to play Forest with all the upheaval and kind of off the field activities, if you like, when at that particular time in the owner. So you could maybe argue that was a good time to play them. The form so far this season, that game aside, Jeff, West Ham would be really, really concerning, mate.
Well, and if they're concerned now, you have to think there could be more concern after the next 3 fixtures, which are Crystal Palace at home, and Palace having a heck of a good season, Everton and David Moyes away from home, and then Arsenal away. Next 3 fixtures, really worrying times. I think if you're a West Ham fan, that is for sure. Guy in Worcester has responded to a tweet I read out earlier on. He said, "Who was that numpty that said Leeds need to sack Daniel Farke? We held off a well-coached Fulham team and lost to an unlucky own goal." Oh, you're not kidding. You're not
did
kidding.
You see it?
It must have been heartbreaking for the Leeds boys.
It's one of these ones, Jeff. He just sees it later, Goodmanson, and it kind of bounces off his head, and it could go anywhere, but it's just one of those things that flies under the goal. Yeah, I mean, I thought they defended well for long periods.
They did. Guy says, I wish people would give the man a break and get behind the team. There were a lot of positives to take from Saturday's game. I don't think you're right, Guy. My concern has been from right at the start of the season, Coisty. I don't know where the goals are coming from. Just don't see where the goals are coming from.
And memory serves me right. I wrote it down after I watched the game. I think Calvert-Lewin had a great chance. Was it a header? I can't remember. But particularly if you're a club like, Leeds and Sunderland, newly promoted clubs, Burnley, going away from home, you've got to take any chances you get, mate. Any chances you get, you've got to be clinical.
Yeah, absolutely.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.